So what I like to focus on, the business plan, if you do it the right way, I think, leads to the most success. The business plan really comes in the seed stage. Because once you're in the startup stage, you're really busy. Like, it's a lot of time, you're losing money because you've already committed to spending money on a monthly basis, you have some overhead, and to take the time to really start a business plan during the startup stage, it's tough. It really is tough, and I find a lot of people actually have to stop their business and write a business plan and then get it going later again, which is expensive, right? And so the seed stage is really the best time to get your business plan in place. And so I've broken down the seed stage into 3 major steps. I like to build everything in blocks, and so and talk about kind of the process. And it starts at the bottom with the personal foundation, then the business plan, and then your pre-launch actions. And it goes in this order. Typically, entrepreneurs get an idea. It's really easy to get a website built and a logo designed, and so they get an idea, they go out, they get a business license, and then they get a website, and they get a logo, and then they say, okay, well, it's not working, what's going on? And it's the reason they skipped all the other things, they just jumped into the pre-launch actions. So the first thing I do is I work with entrepreneurs on their personal foundation, and this is something that isn't always talked about in the startup world. But when you are starting a business, the entrepreneur is everything. I mean, like, you just have an idea and an entrepreneur or a founding team, right? And so, like, if you look at the whole business as a whole, the entrepreneur makes up 99% of the business when it started, 99.9% of the business, right? And so if you're not, you or your founding team aren't in a great place to start a business, forget about it. You can have the best idea in the world, the best business plan, everything. It doesn't matter if you're not in the right place. And so you really want to look at that personal foundation. And those are things like, do I have clear personal and financial goals? Like, what am I getting out of this business? Like, why am I really doing this business? And making as much money as possible isn't good enough. I found that, like, that isn't a good enough goal. You need to know, what is that number? Everyone's got a number. Like, you got to get clear on that. Having just a healthy life is important. I meet with entrepreneurs that are coming in and say, my business isn't working. I go through the list of all the things. They've got it all lined up. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why isn't this business working? And their personal life isn't in order to support them being a leader and an entrepreneur to lead a team. And so having a healthy, lifestyle there, having integrity, having your word mean something. When you're first starting, that's all you got. Is that you're entering into these relationships, a lot of trades, a lot of like trust stuff going on, and so integrity is so critical. And then a big one, and this is, so many people don't do this one, but you need what I call the pay the bills plan. Right? Everyone thinks, oh, my business is gonna, I did this. My business is gonna make so much money, like, out of the gate. It's such a good idea, so I can just live off credit cards for 3-4 months and then it'll start making me money. The reality is that's not the case. It's several years before it's making money to pay your bills. So you need to have another plan in place to pay the bills. I suggest 2 years.